To me, culture is a collection of subcultures. So that begs the question, well, what's a subculture? It's kind of this place where we get to do R&D, we get to dream, where we just get to try something a little bit differently just to sort of see how it works and what we might learn from it. How does culture kind of inform the wider world? So I wrote this book, The Pirate's Dilemma, which looked at exactly that. And if you look at how punk culture, this idea that even if you can't do it, just do it anyway, and even if it sounds awful, just do it louder. I mean, that's the mentality of almost every startup that I've ever worked with. This is a guy named David Mancuso, and he had this idea. He's like, you know what? I'm going to create this party. I'm going to have all my friends there. It doesn't matter if they're rich or poor. It doesn't matter if they're homeless. I'm going to make sure there's food there so they've got something to eat. I'm going to have my black friends there. I'm going to have my white friends there. I'm going to have my gay friends there. I'm going to have my straight friends there. And no one had ever done this before. No one had ever got people together on a dance floor like that who was so fundamentally different. And if you look at sort of how the Loft worked and what David did, and this explosion of different cultures and music that's happened since, it all looks very different, but there's one thing that's the same and still there. It doesn't matter if you're at a dubstep night in Las Vegas or you're at the Berlin Love Parade. All dance music has this same spirit of unity, and if you're on this dance floor, you and I are no different. We're the same. It's all here. It's all love. That absolutely permeates through dance music culture, and it's deliberate. It was one person's idea, and it's just amplified and amplified. And so you see this kind of time and again, and I sort of got very interested in, well, how does it work? You've always got this person who has like a crazy idea, and they've got like it's usually a radical idea, and it doesn't sound like it will work. And then other people kind of get into it, they get inspired, and there's a platform. It can be a pirate radio station, or it can be a dance floor, or it can be a mixtape, but that idea will start to travel, and it will inspire and validate people who feel the same way, and then they'll start contributing their own narrative to the story. And that's how subcultures start to form into things that we can point to and recognize. Okay, well, where can you create culture now? Because it's sort of not happening over here. Like, where's the pirate radio station on the internet? I think these new social networks and all these new forms of media that we're struggling with to understand and build and figure out the ramifications of them, I think these are subcultures. Cultures and technological platforms scale in the same way. Where should we be affecting change? If culture is now code, what kind of code should we be writing? What should we be building? Again, many of us have noticed recently, digital media is really dividing us, and we're just becoming more and more nasty to each other online. I'm sure all of you have had an argument with your auntie's crazy friend on Facebook about something, and it's bothered you for days. And where I grew up in London, you know, there'd be fights, like when the pubs all kicked out. You'd see fights in the streets, and they're always nasty, and people were throwing bottles at each other, and people got too aggressive. And I thought about boxing gyms. I like boxing. I've boxed for a lot of my life. If you go in a boxing gym, everybody's really nice to each other. They're all gentlemen and they're all really friendly. And you get in the ring and you have a fight, but there's rules, and you kind of respect each other and you look each other in the eye. And I was thinking, well, the internet is we're just a bunch of drunk hooligans on the internet fighting each other with words. We need a boxing ring. We need a space where we can argue with strangers on the internet in a constructive way. I think we need this more than ever. And so I created this app called Bout That. And I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try, because that's what culture's about, right? You've got to experiment. But all of the early debates, all of these people we've seen go on there and try it out, it doesn't matter what they could be arguing about the most divisive subjects in the world. The thing that we're seeing is people go on there, and the fact that they're looking each other in the eye, and the fact that they're seeing that that's a real person in a real place, it's having an effect on people. The thing we're trying to gamify with Bout That is not arguing. We're trying to gamify empathy. We're trying to gamify consensus, because I think David Mancuso was right. I think we need to stay on the same dance floors, and we need to keep finding ways to get with people who are different from us and don't look like us or think like us, and look each other in the eye and say, you know what? We're not so different, you and I. We're all kind of the same, and we can figure this out.